Welcome to another video on the Hobby Drone Pilot channel. Today I'm going to do a comparison flight between the DJI Air 3S and the Mini 5 Pro. So let's do this. The battle of the 1-inch sensors. So the first drone I have in the air is the DJI Air 3S. So let the battle of the 1-inch sensor or the 1-inch sensors begin. And I'm flying here at the south side marina, which is nestled right between Turtle Tail and Cooper Jack Bay. So let me give some quick specs here of the Air 3S. It has this dual camera system featuring an additional 48 megapixels, 70 millimeter medium telephoto lens, which is a 1/1.3 inch sensor camera. Weighs about 724 grams, which means that it requires standard registration to operate in Europe, United States, etc. Flies up to 45 minutes on one battery, and it has a 3-axis mechanical gimbal camera and 42 gigabyte onboard storage. And so I'm flying down here right close to the Bunyan Inn, right down here between Turtle Tail and Cooper Jack Bay, and in the distance are the Waimara Villas right on the rise at the tip of the marina. And I've flown here several times. I've done a comparison here between the Sky Rover S1 and the Mini 5 Pro, the DJI Mini 5 Pro, and I found that the Sky Rover S1 did an excellent job. So yeah, the Air 3S is widely touted as DJI's best consumer drone currently in the market. And if certain forces have their way, we may never see or get our hands on another consumer drone of this magnitude in the United States. And who knows, or probably here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, given that if the United States market is affected, I'm also affected too, and I have to find other markets to source my drones, probably Panama, Canada, etc. So I'm almost at the end of the marina, and what I am going to do is that I'm going to pan around to the right, come right around to the edge of the Waimara Villas, a little to the right of the Strand housing or residential development, and I'm going to find my way right back to the home point, and I'm going to try to do all this manually. But how does the camera look at this stage? Beautiful day of a flying, blistering sun overhead. No threat of rain, no threat of low-hanging clouds or anything like that. So I guess that this sort of environment, the camera and both drones, the cameras on both drones should actually shine, and both drones have the perfect environment and probably scenery or the scene to really give off their best. And I normally fly from this side of the marina in the opposite direction, but I noticed quite recently there are attempts to fence off that area to restrict public access. And so I find myself flying from the Cooper Jack Bay side instead of the Tail side of the marina, but I've panned around successfully, and I'm gliding back to the home point, doing all this manually. Not going to take any photos, not going to try the phototelic lens or anything like that. Just going to try to get this drone on the ground and get the Mini 5 Pro up and see how it performs. Little or no wind, so that is a plus, because it's always windy in this area. And it could be challenging to fly, depends on the drone that you're flying, but I don't think a strong breeze would pose any issues at all for the Air 3S, not even the Mini 5 Pro. So I'm coming back, and very shortly I'm going to be overhead and get this drone on the ground. So what I have seen so far is that this camera is really good. Really good. This 1-inch camera really shines. And I suspect that this is going to be very close between the Air 3S and the Mini 5 Pro in terms of the camera resolution, dynamic range, and everything like that. And that's all that I'm testing here, just camera resolution, not intelligent flight features, not the obstacle avoidance or anything like that. I'm not even going to take any photos or anything like that. So I'm very close to the launch point as well, I would say, or the home point. I'm sure of that. I've not taken the most direct route back to the home point. So I'm just panning down to see exactly where the drone is, and I'm satisfied that I'm right in the ballpark of the home point. So let me get this drone on the ground and take the Mini 5 Pro out in a similar route, similar height, 110, 113 feet up, and see how it stacks up against the DJI Air 3S. So stay tuned for the Mini 5 Pro. And now we have the Mini 5 Pro in the air, and let's see how it stacks up against the DJI Air 3S. So the Air 3S is touted as probably DJI's current best consumer drone, and the Mini 5 Pro is considered the beast, or as the younger folks would say, the goat of the mini drones, notwithstanding that it is tipping a little over the 249, 250 gram mark. Still considered a mini drone, 1-inch camera, just like the Air 3S. So I'm pushing down in the same general direction, hopefully at the same height, and I intend to go the same distance and pan around. So the Mini 5 Pro can fly up to 36 minutes on a standard battery and 52 minutes on the Plus battery. And it features a 225-degree rotating gimbal, which enables true vertical shooting without cropping. Has internal storage of 42 gigabytes, just like the Air 3S. So very similar in specs. The HES does not have a rotating gimbal, but it does its own sort of vertical, but it crops in. And the Mini 5 Pro is ideal. Is an ideal traveler drone, small and compact, probably easier to take around than the HES, although I don't find the HES that bulky. So yeah, but we're here to talk about the camera quality and how does it look. We can see the strand residential development and the right coming down over the Bunyan Inn. Get the impression that I'm flying much slower than I flew the HES, or probably the HES is much faster. I'm not sure. But absolutely no wind. No wind warning. Lovely day for flying. Crystal clear video. Ideal conditions. Bright sunny day. Blistering hot day. Little or no wind. And a beautiful air. So I am coming up to the tip of the marina here, Southside Marina, which is nestled right between Turtle Tail and Cooper Jack Bay. Two pretty what you call upscale area here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pan around. When I get to the end of the marina here, I will just pan around to the right. I'm not going to go over the hill where the Waimara villas are nestled against the rock side. I'm just going to turn around gently to the right and find my way back up the marina and land this drone, because I also have the DJI Flip in my bag and I probably want to get it out on a flight before any sort of wind picks up, because we know the DJI Flip struggles in the wind, and I have not flown that drone for quite some time, and I need to put in some miles, so to speak, and the DJI Flip. But how does the camera look? I personally can't discern any difference at all, or any significant difference in the video quality. But those with fresh and younger eyes may be able to. I'm using RC2 to fly both drones. They have the separate controllers. I like to have my dedicated controllers for my drones. I don't like this thing about binding and unbinding, pairing and unpairing, etc. I have dedicated controllers for each of my drones. So I do have the RC2 for the Mini 5 Pro, and I have an RC2 for the DJI Air 3S. So I've panned right around and I'm coming back to the home point. And the drone is flying seamless. I'm flying on the standard battery here, but I do have the plus batteries too. But this is the standard battery. And it seems that I'm taking probably a more direct route here with this drone back to the home point than I took with the Air 3S. But any one of these drones would do. If you can't afford the Air 3S and you could get your hands on the Mini 5 Pro, it will suffice in terms of camera quality, features, etc. You're not going to fall short. There's no letdown. No letdown at all. And I'm really wondering if someone already have one, say the Mini 5 Pro or the Air 3S, if you really need the other. Probably only someone who does review, a hobbyist, enthusiast, or someone who's really hooked on drones. But somebody just needed one drone. I think anyone would suffice. So I'm just spanning down again to see exactly where I am. I could faintly hear the drone overhead. It's so quiet. And I'm not up very high, just probably about 116 feet up. So probably within the same range, height range that I flew the Air 3S. And you could see one park right at the edge. Water's edge there. Very, very close. So yeah, good flight if I may say so myself, but I'm not picking any winners here. I'm leaving that for the viewers. So if you like this video, please like, please share, please give it a thumbs up. But most of all, I thank you for taking time out from your busy day, from whatever you're doing, to watch this video. Cheers. And as Elizabeth would say, I see you very shortly in another one. Bye for now. And that's what you say, Elizabeth, in your videos? Huh?
I will say, I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now. Yeah.